All right, guys. So, told you last week, started off the year. My goal for the time being is to at least um, put out one video a week. Not set on necessarily the time length, meaning a minimum time requirement, but this will be week 2, and already almost 9:30 Sunday night. I actually allowed a distraction to point up, so I did talk to you about distractions, right? So the Bills are playing the Dolphins tonight, and where I'm at, the cable channel, I guess it's on a channel that I don't have, so I'm just heading out to catch the second half of the game because I missed the first half. I was on the call with someone. But man, what are we going to talk about tonight regarding lifestyle? Because I decided this channel, they always say you got to have an avatar or a niche or whatever, but this is going to be for those of you who are doing well for yourselves. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you have a job, you're making decent income, you got a place to stay, you got a decent car, you got a regular job. When I say regular, you're making 50 to 100K a year. Or maybe you've been making, let's say, 100, 150K a year. Anyway, you're doing it with your job as your some primary source of income. You got a nice place to stay, you got a car to maybe take a trip once or twice a year, and you're realizing that something's just not adding up, right? You got your college degree, maybe you got a master's degree, or maybe you just joined the military or whatever it is, but you're realizing that there's just not as abundance of money as you thought there should be, especially given that you've done everything that you're supposed to do, that you've been told to do, right? So this is who this channel is going to be for, helping you understand the new skills, and they're not necessarily new, they're just new to us, right? The new skills you've got to learn in order to raise your income, why raising your income is so vitally important, and also why paying attention to your own financial situation and why learning investing is so important in today's age, right? And so a little background on me. I was Navy for 9 years, separated, and then from there I became a real estate agent, went on to make multiple six figures, and this year my goal is to make $1 million, or pretty close to it. And that's quite a journey, right? I say that really fast, but that you're talking about 15-year process there that I just ran through in like half a minute or so. So, in the beginning, I thought a regular job was the answer. I was making about $1,000 every 2 weeks or so, maybe $700 every 2 weeks when I first joined the military, right? So, granted, they got the housing provided, and you got all your food and all that stuff. So, don't trip. Even though it's not a lot, you can kind of live on it because, like I say, you're in the barracks already. They have a chow hall that you can eat at 3 times a day, and then you can walk pretty much everywhere on base, right? So you may or may not even need a car. You wear a uniform, which is issued to you, right? They already take that out of your check that they give you at boot camp. So $700, you can kind of make it on 2 weeks with that, right? So don't trip. You just got to pay your cell phone bill, and that's it, right? So from that, thinking that, hey, $1,000 every 2 weeks, to now wanting to make over 80 grand a month. Really, I want to make over 100,000 a month, and then my long-term goals is to earn over $1 million a month. Then you go, well, how do I get there, right? And why is that even important? Why does it matter? Why does your goals matter? Well, it's not about my goals; it's about you. But why should you care, right? You're like, hey man, I'm doing all right. I got a nice house, got a car, right? I just need to know, maybe how to make more money, or maybe I just need to save, or I just need the right investment vehicle, right? And so the reality of the situation is there's a lot. Well, I'm not going to say that there's a lot wrong with that. It's not. What I'm going to say is, if you want to live a extraordinary life, if you want more than just enough, if you want to one day have 6 figures in the bank, if you want to be able to fly first class all the time, if you've never flown it, it's worth it, especially on longer trips. If you don't always want to look at a price of the menu before you go out to a restaurant, if you just want to be able to go there and know that you can afford it regardless. If you want to become a great tipper, you don't want to have to worry about whether it's 18% or 15%. If you just go in and you just drop 50 on them or 100 on them, just because that's who you are, regardless of how the service is, right? If you want to take vacations more than once or twice a year, if you want to take family with you and pay for family to come with you on vacation, right? All of those things, then you got to learn some different skills, and you're going to have to learn how to invest at some point. Why is that? Because all the money rules have changed over the years, right? So in the 1950s, that feels weird saying this, but now it's over 70 years ago, you could get a job at a factory, work 30 years, never change your skill set, do the same job for 30 years, retire, buy a house, and get a gold watch and take care of your family. They put pension away, they did the investing for you. Well, that's gone. That was replaced by the 401k, where you put money in, the company matches it, and then you hope that you put that money in a certain good investment so that when you are ready to retire, the investment's going good and you can live off of that. Well, we know how that went in 2009, 2011. There's a lot of people that plan to retire, and they found out that, hey, if the market's down, well, and your portfolio just went down by, 50%. Hold on, let's see. I'm not going to be able to report that. There's another speed trap here. I just like to report those on Apple Maps because I'm a speeder, so I like to support those that, choose to press the pedal on the right a little bit harder than others, right? But anyways, those pensions are gone now. And even in the military. So the military was the last standing full retirement system, right? Where you didn't have to put $1 in. All you had to do was give 20 years of your life, blood, sweat, and tears, and they took care of the investing for you, and you got a check for life. Well, now that's gone too. So only those, I don't know what the exact year, like I joined 2007. I still had the old plan if I would have retired. But somewhere, I would say after 2016, 2017, they changed it to what's the equivalent of a 401k plan now. So now even the military, man, wow, I'm making a video and talking to you all, and there's people still stopped at a green light. How does that work? But anyways, so even with that, the old military plan, now they're going to a 401k where the service member has to invest a portion of the income that they make, which little pennies they make, and put that on into an investment account and hope that that investment account is invested in the right things and that they can live off of that, right? So essentially, the pension as it once existed in America is completely gone forever, and it's not coming back, right? So the idea of working for a company or the military or for anywhere, doing the same job for 20 years or 30 years and getting a check for life without putting a penny into any type of investment is gone. It does not exist anymore. And I'm not aware of it anywhere else in America. So if I'm wrong, I challenge you to correct me on that. I'd love to. I'll make a new video saying I was wrong. But that system has been excommunicated. It's dead. It doesn't exist anymore. So now you no longer have the option. It's no longer a choice to go to work 30 years at the tire factory, not put a single penny into the cookie jar, and at the year 30, you get a nice certificate saying, hey, you retire, and you get $1,000 a week or $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month and a little small health care plan that's covered, and you're good for life. That doesn't exist anymore, period. So now you are all in a 401k plan, and now even the 401k plans are changing to where I think now you have to be 35 or 45 or something like you have to be a certain age plus the number of years that you work has equal 85 or something before you can withdraw. So basically, the whole goal of the system is to have you work until you drop dead. That's basically the entire system in a nutshell. And they're going to bury you with enough debt, right? Because everything's starting to shift to credit. We don't want cash anymore. We don't want debit system. So everything is designed now to put you on a payment plan to make you their slave for life, right? So why do I say all of that? Well, what does that mean for you? Does it mean life over? No. Why do I say all that? Because now I'm explaining to you the reason why it's important for you to earn a high income. Now I'm explaining the reason to you why you are going to eventually have to learn how to invest if you want to live a certain lifestyle, right? If you want to do more than just survive or just barely have your head above water and only be 1 or 2 paychecks away, or you always have to order the small, coffee at Starbucks, right? Because you can't order a large one, whatever it is, venti, grand venti, whatever the name is, right? Because that'll go over budget. If you don't want to live like that for your whole life, then you're going to have way different money skills than what was required 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. Because those systems, those legacy systems are exactly that. Legacy systems are gone. They're obsolete. They do not exist anymore. So why the high income? The high income is required because now you need money to invest. So let me break it down to you further to educate you on how the old system worked and why the investing now is on you. Okay, so before with the military, right, that's the best example because I was in the military, so I like to tell people that one. When you signed up and you graduated boot camp, the military invested money on your behalf. They opened up an account, and what I mean by open up an account is they have an investment account, like basically essentially like a hedge fund, right? And they're not investors, but they put this money into the account on your behalf. And they give this to a hedge fund, right? Like a Blackstone or Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, right? Or Charles, like when these big funds, they give that money to an investment fund, right? So this package, let's say they put $100,000 in or $10,000, whatever it is, right? On your behalf. You don't have access to it unless you do 20 years, right? Now, this money is invested by a group of investors, right? And so what I mean by that, by investors, I mean these are institutional investors, right? This is not somebody that down the street that's just buying a house and flipping it. No, I'm talking about big multi-million dollar, if not billion-dollar funds that are investing these monies, right? And so what they're doing is they're going out buying commercial properties, right? They're buying apartment complexes, they're buying malls, they're buying buildings, right? They're building assets, right? And so they're doing these long-term investments with millions, hundreds of millions, like I said, if not billions of dollars, that are very safe, very conservative over a long time frame and getting a very preferred and predictable return. And so year after year, that's done for 20 plus years. And so when the time you retire, you've got hundreds of thousands of dollars saved up in that account that's still being actively invested and managed year after year on your behalf. And then that retirement fund, all they're doing is they're giving you a little small check out of that, right? They're giving you $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month out of that every single month for life. As those funds are being invested, they're making more and more money. That's what's happening behind the scenes with a pension plan, right? There's investments done behind the scenes that you can't see by institutional investors with the collective money of all the service members. So let's say you join the Navy. All the Navies, if you think about it, Navy has about 400,000 active duty members. So at any point in time, the quote unquote, let's say the Navy pension plan, as it once was, has 400,000 accounts with $100,000 in it or $50,000, whatever it is, right? All invested with the hedge fund that's being managed by a real estate portfolio, right? That's buying commercial properties, buying apartment complexes, right? Or that's invested in index funds, right? Or mutual funds, right? Or government bonds, right? Where they're receiving a very predictable rate of return, right? And that's what's paying the pension. So that's why you don't have to put a dime into it, right? The military's already done that for you. And they keep that going until the day you die. And then it just goes back into the pot for the next service member, right? So now I'm giving you a very generic just, right? Well, they got rid of that. So now they're saying, no, we're not going to invest anything for you. We're going to give you an account called a TSP. You put money into it. You figure out what's invested, and whatever money you put into it out of yours will match up to 50% of whatever you put in it. That's it. And that's all we're going to do. We're not going to invest for you. We're not going to put the money anywhere safe for you. Nothing. So, how do you know what to invest in? Exactly. So now when I go, why is it important for you to learn how to invest? That's why, because your future is going to depend on you learning how to invest. And before you learn how to invest, what do you need? Capital, right? Now, everyone's selling these no money down, how to do this with zero money, how to do that. I'm going to share with you the truth about what it is when it comes to no money down. Well, first of all, let me answer, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Does it exist? Yes, absolutely. You can totally go out here and do $1 million deal, $1 billion deal, or with a handshake. Here's what is never being shared with you, or here's the truth that's not brought to light. The people that can repeatedly or consistently do no or low, L as in Lima, right? Low, L-O-W, low money down deals, or no as in N-O, November Oscar, like no money down deals. The people that can do that are those who already have a track record of success, right? So I'll give you an example. If Elon Musk came to you today and he said, hey, loan me $10,000, right? No collateral. I want to do this business deal. Right? It's going to make me $100,000. I'll pay you back 20 grand in 30 days. How many of you would take that deal? Most of us would. Why? Why? Because it's Elon Musk. It's Elon freaking Musk, right? He has a track record of success. Now, would you take the same exact offer? It's your McDonald's worker, your favorite Chick-fil-A worker who will stop criminals in the parking lot for you, right? Your favorite Chick-fil-A worker. I like Chick-fil-A. I like how their services. I don't know how they have such great workers. Anyway, it's a sidebar, but they do. So anyways, you got your favorite Chick-fil-A person or your favorite Starbucks barista that always makes your fancy coffee the same way every single time, right? They come to you and they say, I got this great deal. Give me $10,000. I'm gonna flip this. I got this business deal. I'm gonna do $100,000 profit. I'll pay you back 20 grand in 30 days. What are you gonna say? Heck no. Probably some explicatives there, right? You're gonna say no. What experience do you have? What do I have to trust you for? Why should I believe that you can do this? Why do you need my money? If this is such a great deal, you can do it without my money somehow, with your own money or somebody else's money. But you don't need mine to do it, right? That's what you would say. Why? Because they have no track record of success. They have no history in doing what they tell you that they're going to do. So you look at it as a 1,000% risk to you of losing your $10,000. Even with Elon Musk, he gave you zero clue as to what the deal was. He didn't tell you anything. But it's because of who he is that you didn't care. You just heard it was Elon Musk. He wants to borrow money. He's going to pay back with the 100% return in a certain amount of time. You're like, I'll go for it. I'm in. Sign me up. Let's do it. So why did I bring that up? Because all of these low and no money deals, now I can't talk, right? All those deals require you as a person to already have a track record or someone with a track record vouching for you. You need to already be an experienced real estate investor with a positive track record for people to trust you with a no money down or low money down. Or you need someone with deep pockets that can vouch for you and say, yeah, I got this guy, I trust this guy, I stand by this guy or gal. Or you need someone that says, hey, no, they're not a savvy investor, but you know what? They are very savvy in this space because they are a realtor. They look at dozens of deals, and so they should have the knowledge to be successful in that and to run the numbers, and the numbers make sense based on the information that they're given, I think it's a pretty safe deal, right? But again, the low and no money down, what makes it happen is not you being so smooth with your deal making. It has everything to do with who you are as a person. And if you haven't had any track record of success prior to that, it's going to be incredibly difficult for you to do that. Now again, why am I bringing this up? Why am I giving you all this information? Because we got to go back to investing. Again, investing requires capital. It requires money. Lots of it. And if you don't have any, right, then you can't invest. Right? So now let's string this all together, right? So make sure that everybody's tracking along. Remember, we said your company, the military, when you showed up for 20, 30 years to give up your life to work, they did the investing for you. Now they don't do it because it's a 401k plan or something worse than a 401k plan. So now you got to do the investing, right? But now, in order for you to do the investing and to be have a high level of success, you got to know how to invest. But two, you need to have money to invest, right? And so now to have the money to invest, how do you get the money to invest if you can't do low or no money down deals because you don't have a track record of being a successful investor, or being successful in putting those deals together? How do you put all this together? Now you're asking the right questions. So now you got to put the high income in there. So now you need to make an extra 50 or 100 or 200 or 300 or 400 or $500,000 per year, because not only do you need to cover your living expenses, but you need a surplus of probably 50 to 100 a year to realistically invest into different assets that are actually going to make a return that's worth your time, right? Because you can do some cheap investments where you get $100 a month, but what's $100 a month going to do for you? You can just work some overtime and make an extra $100 a month, right? But if you want to make $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month, you're going to have some big pockets. You have to make some big investments, right? In order to do that, you're going to have some capital. And again, and the other thing these gurus always tell you, oh, well, it doesn't have to be your money. You can raise money. Again, why would somebody who's got the skill or the ability to earn $500,000 or $1 million, or who's put themselves through the process of being able to earn that much income and have a couple $100,000 saved up or put away, why would they give that hard-earned money to you when you don't have the experience? The only way they would do that is if you showed them a deal that they understood and understand, and it's so plain that even a fool can see that, okay, this thing is going to make money. Other than that, there's no way they're going to give you their money because it's a gamble, right? So again, even with that, you've got to have money to invest in things that are worth investing in if you want to get out of the quote-unquote rat race, if you want to be able to retire one day, if you want to be able to have the option to work, or at least to not have to work as much, right? It's all going to come down to that. Oh man, I just tried to adjust my temperature in the car with the excuse me, just try to adjust the temperature in my car on my other hand, my seatbelt locked up on me. But anyways, you got to have that capital. And the only way you're going to get that capital is by having a high income, right? And the only way you're going to get a high income is you got to learn high income skill. That's why all of this is important, so that you can live that lifestyle. So let's backtrack a little bit, because some of y'all might not be keeping up. To have the high income, in order to put enough money away to invest in the right assets. Hold on, I'm following my GPS while I'm making this video too, right? So I'm gonna get this video out for sure. It's a Sunday night. I'm gonna upload it, and I'm gonna put it out. So I said I would. But yeah, you gotta have the high income to have a surplus of capital, right, i.e. reserves, to put into your investment account to invest in the proper investments, to build assets or to buy assets or to create assets, right, that's going to spit out cash flow on a consistent basis, on a predictable basis that you can live off of, right? That's the real game plan that nobody's talking about. Or maybe they're talking about it, but they're kind of going around it because they want to sell you a course or they want to sell you their course on how to do it. I'm not here to sell you that just yet. It's coming, but not yet, right? But the reason why I share that with you is that is the new game. You have to build a very high income. What do I mean a high income? I say right now high income is $250,000 to $500,000 and beyond, but a minimum of $250,000 a year. It's no longer 100,000. 100,000 is the new 50,000. I'll say that again. 100,000 is the new 50,000. 100,000 is the new 50,000. 100,000 is the new 50,000. If you live in any big city in America, you will know that. You live in Atlanta, Charlotte, Miami, Honolulu, LA, NYC, Chicago, Dallas, any one of those places, even Nashville, you will know. Colorado, Denver, Colorado, right? Seattle, Washington, San Francisco, any of those big cities. Utah City, Salt Lake. You will know 100,000 is the new 50,000, right? So you got to be earning 200,000+ a year with the ability to earn $500,000 or 600,000-700,000 at least, right? Because when you do that, you earn that type of income, you're going to raise your lifestyle a little bit. It's just only natural to, if you're pushing yourself through the paces, you're becoming a man, the woman that can earn $300,000 a year. It's going to be very tough for you to eat ramen noodles every day and still do what's required to earn that type of income continuously. So, I think I'm here somewhere. Okay, there we go. So now I just got to find a place to park. But beyond that, I want to say you gotta be able to earn that type of income first. That's number one. Don't worry about investing until you can earn at least $250,000 consistently, or $500,000 and beyond, right? Then once you get there, you'll have the ability to put away a couple $100,000, you know. Once you're able to put away a couple $100,000, it doesn't have to be a couple hundred. I mean, even just 100,000 is a good start, as long as you know you can make that back if you make a mistake, right? Then once you get to that, then you can start learning about investing, right? And it may be that you just need to put that 100,000 into your business to make $1 million or $2 million or $5 million. That might be the investment you need to make. But if it is something where you need to learn real estate or buying businesses or things like that, then you could do it and know that you can make back whatever mistake you made, if there are mistakes, in that you know you don't have to be 100 out of 100 because it's your life savings. And you know, if this 20,000 goes away or this 40,000 goes away, you'll never get it back because it took your whole life to save it, right? You just know, hey, 6 months in a year, I can recoup this, boom, I'm right back. I learned the lesson, now I can do it again, right? So that's what I'm telling you. And so that's why it's so important to learn a high income skill so that you can save enough money to invest. And then as you can invest, then that's what's going to take you to get the cash flow to be able to get you to retire. And as you have that high income, you're going to be able to live the lifestyle that you want to live, right? And not only as you're going to be able to live the lifestyle that you want to live, as you learn the investing side, you're also going to be able to know how to sustain that lifestyle as you're building assets and buying assets and investing in assets. You're going to know how to be able to sustain that lifestyle with your investments when you choose to walk away and stop working, right? So that is why I share all of these things with you. And I say that it's imperative for you to know because that's the new game that's being played, right? So hopefully this video was of value to you. Appreciate any feedback you could give me on it, because I want that feedback. I want to know what's important to you guys, how I can be of service to you. Because like I said, you know, this is a long game that I'm playing. I'm going to be putting out a video every single week. So if I'm going to be up here talking anyway, let's make sure I'm talking about something that you want to learn about, that you want to know about. All right. So next time, take care.